So we're now on to the Eastern Hang. I know Dave's got some stuff lined up. Dave, you're unmuted at the minute. I know you might have a few guests. Who in particular do you need me to unmute for you, buddy, or can they unmute? Do I need co-host, or can I just make you a co-host?
If you can you hear me? Can you hear me, Ben?
I can hear you fine, mate, yes.
Perfect, man. Awesome modern technology. If you could have Mr. Super Cooper, Lucas Cooper, in the guest list. He's going to administer probably for me.
That's fine. He needs to unmute himself, and then he's fine. I've allowed him to be able to do that. Himself.
And then Albert, so Upstate Guy Styles, going to be the other host. We've got 3 hosts.
Hello, Dave.
Hey, buddy.
I only had one cocktail this year.
Hey, I got a cocktail too, but yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, wow. That's a tall one. Holy shit.
Hey, before we go any further, I want to make a shout out to the Swedes. Can everybody see the Swedes in the background? Every session I've been on, they've been sitting back there drinking. You guys party. They're awesome.
I think they're going to try the whole 24 hours.
They're doing it, man.
24 hours.
He's handing him a beer right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so we've got Albert, Upstate Guy Style, Lucas Cooper, Mr. Super Cooper, myself, and then our guests today are going to be Grease Point Workwear, Amos Colbertson, and then Mark Albert Boots, if they're on here yet. I can't see all the participants right now. And then Whiskey Leatherworks. I did see Daniel Ernest on here, or Allison Ernest might be.
Hey, Dave.
How's it going, buddy? So I don't know if we have the other ones. We can just go out of order. I was going to go Grease Point, Mark Albert, and Whiskey Leatherworks, but we can start with you.
Did you say there were a Carlos, Dave?
What's that?
Did you say one of the chaps were called Carlos? Oh, we've got Grease.
No. Amos. Amos is his name.
I'm here.
Awesome, dude. Okay, so let us do this. We're going to kick it off. The hosts are going to kick it off, and then we'll go through order. We've got these 3 makers, 3 makers from USA, and we're going to have them each tell their story, 10-ish minutes, and then we'll do some Q&A. We'll just open up and have a conversation. So if you don't know me, I'm Dave Mathias, Rugged Workwear on Instagram. I've been on there maybe 4 or 5 years doing the boot and denim thing. It's all a hobby to me. I love this stuff. And I'm super excited about talking to the makers today. I own products from all of them. They're all really quality. I'm really impressed with their stuff, and I want to hear their story. So that's me. I also do the Southeast Denim Hangs, which is another account on Instagram. SE Denim Hangs is that one. And I run that one, and Lucas helped found that with me, one of our other hosts. Lucas, you want to say a word?
Sure. I mean, not too much. It's a funny story about how Dave and I met. We were at a shoe show down here in Atlanta. I work in the footwear industry. I'm a sales rep for a big shoe company. And I saw this guy walking around. I was like, this guy is definitely wearing salvage denim. He's got this good look about him, kind of that workwear type look. And of course, I go up and ask him, I was like, hey man, what kind of denim you wearing there? And one thing leads to another. And he goes, I believe this is how it went, Dave, correct me if I'm wrong. Dave goes, aren't you on Instagram? We're like, what is your Instagram? And he's like, I've seen your beard before. And on Dave's Instagram, he never shows his face, so like I have no idea what Rugged Workwear looks like. And one thing led to another, and it was just a hilarious meeting of each other on at some random shoe show down here in Atlanta.
Hey, that's perfect. You did it. That's the exact story. And actually, that show, I was there with Mark Albert Boots, who's actually a guest today. So that's a coincidental story. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so awesome. Thank you, Lucas. And Albert, you want to say a word? Albert does Denim Hangs New York City, that Instagram account, and he's also Upstate Guy Style on Instagram.
Yeah, I was on earlier talking with my buddy Adam. I see is still hanging in there, talking about the podcast. I'm an honorary member of the Southeast Denim Hangs, and I met Dave on my business trip down to Atlanta. And we went out and we had a killer hangout, and we became good buddies. And I actually saw him multiple times in Atlanta, and he came up to New York. So we did quite a lot of hanging. We were talking at a restaurant once about politics and annoyed this old couple next to us at this restaurant in Atlanta, and they actually requested to move their table to move away from us. And that was like a bonding moment where Dave and I realized that the only thing more obnoxious than either one of us was both of us together.
That's a perfect story.
That was a true story. So
that is a true story.
Yeah. And then the best part of all this is how I met Lucas and a bunch of other folks, like our buddy Ethan. I'm not sure if he's on. We booked a weekend in Nashville to go to the Denim Days Festival in Nashville, and Denim Days forgot to announce that they had canceled it. So we had purchased. I had bought a flight from New York. Dave was going to drive from Atlanta to Nashville. And for just a brief moment, we were like, we should cancel this. Why the hell are we going? And of course, we didn't cancel it. And it turned out to be just an incredibly fun time. All of us descending upon Nashville. That was really, really fun.
That was an epic hang, buddy.
Yeah, it was really great.
Okay, everybody. So that's Albert. We're the three hosts for the East Hangs tonight. And like I said, we're going to go through three guest speakers. We're going to start. Amos said he's here. So we'll start with Amos. We'll try to stay in order. Grease Point Workwear is his, and that's his same name on Instagram, his account. So Amos, do you want to go through your story without further ado?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Is it working?
Yep.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank David for inviting me. I feel very appreciated to just be a part of this. I think I kind of, I'm on Instagram, and obviously I'm doing what I do, but I guess I feel like I live a little bit under the radar. I haven't been to any trade shows or denim hangs or anything. Not that I wouldn't like to, but I just haven't. So thanks for including me and thinking of me. Very flattered. It's also really nice to see everybody's face, on Instagram. You see photos, but it's just nice to hear people talk, and it's a little more humanizing, I guess. So that's cool. First of all, I'm not where I expected to be to do this. So my shop is currently in Portland, Oregon. And as you might have heard, most of the West Coast seems like it's on fire or really smoky. And I can say without a doubt that the smoke the last few days in Portland has just been absolutely horrendous, to the point where everybody's eyes are red and throats are sore. It's been terrible. So I planned on being in my shop and, kind of being a little spiffy and having machines and cool stuff in the background, but I'm not. I'm in my truck. I'm out in Idaho right now. Actually, I just escaped to run away from the smoke, and I've been fly fishing and camping.
How long of a drive is that, Amos?
It was about 6 hours to get to where I am right now.
Wow. And there's no sign whatsoever in where you are now of fires?
It's a little hazy, but it's much better than it was. I think
we're glad to say, because it's breaking our heart watching you guys out there. It's just horrible to watch. Horrible.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I haven't been directly affected other than just having to deal with the smoke, but there are a lot of people that are in much worse situations, either having to be evacuated or losing property or whatever. But yeah, so that's where I am right now in Idaho in my truck. But I guess I'll give a little bit of a background about what I do and my brand. I've been in Portland for about 2 years now. I was in Seattle for about 5 years before that. But the story for my brand starts in Central Texas. I was in graduate school for geology, getting a master's degree in soil science and paleoclimatology. And I broke my ankle really badly, and just kind of, I couldn't do a lot of things that I was used to doing outside, and I got really interested in denim. I just kind of went down the denim rabbit hole, and because I couldn't walk and I was sort of laid up for a long time, I just decided that I was going to figure out how to make a pair of jeans. There was a brand that existed at the time that I was heavily inspired by and still am, Jackknife Outfitters out of San Francisco. They no longer exist, but they were really inspiring to me at the beginning. And then I finished my graduate degree and moved to Seattle on a whim, and was making jeans and kind of starting to do it a little bit more seriously. I had another job at a cold weather military clothing company for a short period of time, and then I got laid off, and I had sort of a little bit of a buffer there to actually really try to make it into a business that I do full time. And at the end of about 6 months was kind of the cutoff, and it just started working. I just started selling jeans here and there, and that was, I think, 7 years ago now. So now I have a shop in Portland. It's small. It's only about 1,000 square feet. I have one employee who works with me, who's a great guy. If you haven't seen my Instagram or you're not familiar with my brand, I try to really keep my designs workwear focused. I grew up on a farm in Colorado, and my family still runs an orchard there, and that's always been a big part of my life. I go back in the summers and help out with the harvest and stuff, except for this year because we had a really bad frost, so there wasn't any harvest this year. But yeah, so we make everything to order. We don't really stock anything, so that's a little bit unique. And basically, I just feel really fortunate to have been able to take this thing that I still kind of think of as an overgrown art project or something. Really, I just get to make what I like, and thankfully there are enough people that want. Yeah.
Do you take your own photos? Your Instagram photos are really good.
Thank you. Yeah, I do quite a bit. About 3 weeks ago, I had a good friend of mine start helping me with that because it's one of the things that I think I needed to improve on. So yeah, I've hired a friend of mine who does photo and social media stuff for a snowboard company to start helping me with that. So if the last 10 posts look better than the previous ones, that's because
they're pretty consistently good. They're really great.
Okay. Well, thanks. Yeah, you kind of live and die on Instagram these days, so I try to make it pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. If there's anything I didn't really cover or something that jumps out, I'm happy to answer.
Do you stop making white jeans at this time of year, or do you keep going?
I make them whenever people want. Yeah, whenever people want to buy them, I'm making them.
They're really great.
Thank you.
So, hey, Amos, real quick, we can maybe do a couple questions and then we're going to bounce to the next speaker, but we'll come back for more Q&A.
Whenever you're ready, just tell me to stop talking.
Oh, no, you're good. So how did you go about learning the craftsmanship side of, the workwear? Like, I hear, this is always interesting when I hear this from makers, because there's so much on YouTube. There's obviously you can read. You could have mentors that help you. What was your journey like with that? Was it all self-taught? And if so, how'd you do it? Or did you have a mentor? Or how'd that happen?
Yeah, so I would say it was primarily self-taught. I mentioned I was inspired by a few brands. Like I said, Jackknife Outfitters was a big one. Roy Slaper is one that people always reference because he's so inspiring. I think just seeing other people that had taught themselves how to make jeans gave me the idea that I could figure it out. I certainly had help here and there from people along the way, specific questions and stuff. But yeah, I think I've always had a pretty strong sense of self-efficacy, like just being able to figure something out if I really wanted to. And yeah, with YouTube and the internet and books, you can figure it out. But yeah, it was mostly self-taught. Again, there have been some really helpful people, really talented people that have helped me at certain points. I don't want to downplay that, but I didn't have a specific mentor or anybody that I learned directly from. But yeah, I wish I had.
Yeah.
No, you have such a distinctive style. I think it's so obvious that you really kind of honed your own concepts into a real signature.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I kind of sunk my teeth into the concept of the work gene pretty early on. I just felt like I hadn't seen anything like that before. You know, there was a lot of selvage denim, and then there were work pants, and or at least like, you know, Carhartts, and I hadn't really seen a high quality, high end selvage denim double front work pant, and I wanted to make it for myself. And then the response was really good, and that became the style that I build my brand around, and that's definitely still what I sell the most of, and I'm known for. I would say is you know, double front work jeans.
If you real quick, let's do like one or two more questions. What is so that's curious, that's the sells the most, but what is your favorite piece that you make, or pieces? And then, you know, what's the reason that one or those two pieces are your favorite?
I think it's hard to say because it changes all the time, and it's really what I'm most excited about making, whether it's a particular fabric that I enjoy working with. I've been making a lot more long sleeve shirts lately. I've been really enjoying that. I'm about to release a new style of pant that's pretty different. It's still a double front work pant, but it's sort of loosely based on a 90s climbing pant that I started wearing a lot in quarantine. My dad worked in the outdoor industry for a lot of my young life, and he was a rock climber, and so I inherited these really old, like 90s kind of baggy, gusseted climbing pants. And during quarantine, I was like, I don't really want to wear jeans every day, but you can't wear sweatpants all the time, or you start to feel like a slob. If you're in your house all day, you don't really want to wear like 16-ounce denim, but I feel like, at least for me, I didn't want to just wear sweatpants all day. So I started wearing these climbing pants because they were really comfortable, but they were still functional. And I have a new design coming out that's based on that. So that's what I'm most excited about. It has a built-in kind of webbing belt, and it's a really cool Japanese fabric. I used like all really high-end military spec hardware and stuff. So that's what I'm most psyched about right now.
So Amos, are those pants Gramici?
Yeah, they are. So Gramici.
I had several pants back in the day. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's super comfortable. So
yeah, exactly. So Gramici's really big in Japan now, believe it or not. And I don't know, their popularity seems to have waned a little bit in the U.S., but the ones that I got from my dad were from the 90s, and they were made in the U.S. And I think they started making them in China, 10 or 15 years ago.
I've been
you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's a great design.
Yeah. So hopefully people like them. I mean, I put my own twist on them for sure, but that was the inspiration. You're absolutely right. Gramici pants.
Awesome. Okay. We probably actually have time. Albert or Lucas, you want to do one more question before we go to the next? There's been a little change in plan. Mark Albert Boots had a little bit of a medical thing, so he's not going to be able to join us. Not an emergency, but unforeseen. So we probably have a little extra time in the agenda. So we probably can do at least one more upfront question if either of you guys have a question, and then we'll bounce to the next story. Albert, Lucas?
Albert, you're muted down there. I'm thinking of a question, so we'll let Albert ask his first.
Okay.
I have one if Albert doesn't go. I've always got questions. I'll just go in case Albert's got some noise or something. That's why he's muted.
Sure.
So Amos, like, what if someone? This is always fun too, talking to people that are interested in getting into the same craft that you're in. What's one piece of advice that you would give somebody if they wanted to get into making, you know, workwear shirts or or pants, trousers, that type of thing, what's one piece of advice you'd give them?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that kind of circles me back to the question you asked me about how I learned or how I got into it. You know, if you can find a mentor, I think that's really great. There's a lot of resources on YouTube, and there's a lot of great books out there now. So it's kind of a two-parter. The first thing I'll say is easily that pattern making is the most challenging part of it. I think the sewing part of it is a very skill-based thing that you can learn from repetition, and you'll just get better at it the more you do it. Same with pattern making, but it's you know, if the fit of a garment isn't right, then it doesn't matter how well you made it. It's not going to be it's not going to be a good garment. You're not going to want to wear it. So I guess what I would say is, don't feel like you have to create your own pattern from nothing, or that you have to like conjure a pattern from thin air. I would absolutely say that the best way to start is to start with a pattern. Either buy a cheap one online or at like a fabric store, or maybe even better, go to the thrift store and buy clothes that fit sort of the way that you want to you want something to fit, whether it's a shirt or a pair of pants. Get something inexpensive and then get a seam ripper and take it apart and make your pattern from that and chasing it out. Because not only will you learn a lot about construction taking apart a garment, but you'll also have a pretty good starting point moving forward from there. That's what I did, but I think I transitioned much too quickly into thinking that I had to like create my own patterns or alter the pattern. And I wish that I had just copied more patterns to start with. And again, buy something cheap from the thrift store that fits, you know, reasonably close to what you would like fit to be, so that you don't feel bad taking it apart. Because you might have your favorite shirt and you're like, oh, or your favorite pair of pants, you're like, I want to copy these, but I'm not going to take them apart because I don't want to destroy them. So there's a way to like kind of crudely copy the pattern without taking them apart. And maybe there are people that can do it better than me, but definitely the easiest way to actually do it is to fully take a pair of pants apart, whether that's with like a razor blade or actually with a seam ripper where you're completely deconstructing them. So I would just say, focus on pattern making and don't be afraid to like, you know, rip a pattern off or start with a commercial pattern.
Awesome.
Can you guys, can I hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
My question was, which Instagrammers have purchased the most pants from you? Because I want to see what they ordered and what they look like. So who should I follow?
Okay.
I know Dave's got a couple.
Yeah, too.
Dave.
They're awesome.
There's a local guy in Portland. His name is Brock, and I think his Instagram is leather denim boots. He's a great guy. He has bought a bunch of stuff from me, and he's also, I got to really tip my hat to him because he started a page for Grease Point Workwear on the Ironheart forum, which I still have no idea really what that is or have never been on it. But
man, Ironheart has a cult following. It's just like their forum that they have.
I mean, I know what Ironheart is, but I'm well aware of Ironheart, but I haven't been on the forum. But I know that a lot of people have found me through that forum, through him starting a page on my brand on that forum. So I gotta give a big shout out to Brock.
I follow Brock, actually. Thank you for pointing that out. Very cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who else.
2 posts ago, he has a really cool, like really well-worn pair of your jeans. Wow, they look amazing.
Oh, Red Wings and Things. Red Wings and Things took it. He works on floors, and he just like knocked the knees out because he's on his knees all day working on floors.
I know. I keep badgering him, like, send him back to me. I'll repair him for you. And he's like, oh, okay, I will. But yeah, there are a few people. You know, I wish I had a better answer for you. I mean, so many of my customers are repeat customers, which I'm super grateful for. But a lot of them are like kind of, I guess, a little more like under the radar. They're like blue collar guys that just buy a bunch of stuff from me. There's a guy in Portland. It's not going to be that helpful, but he's a he owns his own contracting business. I think he has like 7 or 8 pairs of my jeans, and last Christmas he bought a gift card for like all 10 of his employees for a pair of pants. So that was so cool. I got them all outfitted. But yeah, I don't know.
I will be joining the club soon. I'm embarrassed to say I don't have a pair yet, but I'm
that's okay. Yeah,
going to take the plunge.
Give me a shout. We'll get you all dialed in. I got some new fabrics in the pipeline that are going to be out in the next month or so. So if you want to get on that early, let me know, Albert. We'll get you in there.
Very cool.
Okay.
All right. I think this is a good time to, and we'll come back with questions. There'll be more open questions, but we're going to move over to, first of all, thank you, Amos, very much.
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate you sharing your story. Super interesting answers. Really glad you came on. We're going to transition now to Whiskey Leatherworks. So Daniel Ernest, he's another maker. He does leather work. And so we had sort of a denim maker. And then today we had a boot maker lineup, and the boot maker is the one I mentioned that can't make it. They had a little bit of a medical thing. And then Daniel with Whiskey Leatherworks is leather goods. So Danny, without further ado, if you want to go and just jump into your story, go ahead and do that.
Yeah. So Dave, thanks so much for inviting me. So big thank you to you and Lucas and Albert for putting this together and including us to be a part of it. So I'm super flattered and glad to be a part. So a little background about myself. I grew up actually in Atlanta, lived there until 2004. And 2004, my wife, Allie, and I moved out here to Missoula, and we've been here ever since. Originally, I went to school in Atlanta for geology, hydrogeology, worked in the environmental consulting industry for the better part of like 15 or 16 years, and kind of started Whiskey Leatherworks in my garage as a kind of a hobby, sort of an outlet, an artistic outlet. Just trying to, I guess kind of back up a little bit. A neighbor of mine had a belt, and I don't really want to say who made it, but it's a U.S. full grain leather belt, and he brought it over to my house. He was like, "Hey man, my buckle broke on my belt," and he was like, "Could you help me fix it?" And because I'm kind of the guy in the neighborhood, like people come to me to like help people fix stuff. And I was like, no, not only can we fix it, we can make it better. And then that's when the idea sparked in both of our heads, like why don't we start making our own belts? And, went out, bought a bunch of leather, some tools, and started making full grain leather belts, 8, 10 ounce, 11 ounce belts. And, they were really nice, but then we were like, what can we do to completely set ourselves apart from everybody in the industry that's making full grain heavy duty belts. And that's when we met up with our metalsmith Nathan Kemple. He was here in Missoula. We spent several days over at his metalsmith shop, and he had made a few buckles in the past, and started working with just carbon steel, bending it and forging it. And then that's when he was like, "Hey, what you guys ever thought about using copper?" So then that's when the copper buckle started coming into existence. And since then we started making them out of like bronze and also stainless steel, but just working with those 3 metals. And, that's what kind of helped set our brand apart from everybody else that was, creating belts. And then from the belts, we kind of slowly expanded into wallets and some of the wax canvas and then some, a lot of fishing related stuff. It's sort of, that's my outlet is getting out and fly fishing. So we have quite a few products kind of geared toward that passion in my life. So that's kind of, how we got started. And, it was sort of, like I said, it was sort of a creative outlet at first. And, we got our website set up and started getting orders from friends, and then friends of friends, and then slowly started expanding our market, and then started getting orders from people who we don't know. So then we were like, "Oh my goodness, do you know this person?" No. And then that was kind of our creative outlet for myself and my friend Paul. And then, as the business started to grow, it started to take more of my time away from my family, and it was starting to be quite a strain. And then that's when Allie said, it's time to either go all in or pull the plug on this project. And that's when she and I decided to both go full into Whiskey Leatherworks. And at that point, it was for the first year, she and I both were, trying to make the best of this and trying to do everything we can to make it sustainable for our family. And, that was 2 years ago, and we're still here, and we're still cranking out belts, and it's all because of the denim community and the outdoor fly fishing community who've really embraced us and really helped my family business grow to where this is our family. This is what we're making. And, without support from you guys, we would not be doing what we're doing. So I'm so grateful. I'm going to get kind of choked up, but yeah, it's touching, like every time we get an order, and it's personal. Every piece, like Amos said, we have very little inventory already made. So, everything an order comes across, we make it. And sometimes, we're doing custom sizes. Not everyone's an even sized belt, like a 32, 34, 36. We do 35s, 37s, 39s, 40s, whatever. So we don't, every piece that we make it's mindfully made, and we're not making it in a hurry. We're making everything one at a time. And there's so much that, that one piece is touched so many times by people's hands. And, it's myself, Allie, and we have 2 other people that are in the shop now full time. So we're growing, and we're growing as a result of you guys. So I much appreciate it.
Wow, Dan, did you guys have something totally new coming in the fall, like not a belt, something different? Because obviously you guys do other things besides belts.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, just so you know, I am wearing your belt.
Come over here. Allie's over here.
Too.
Wait, hold on.
I am too.
Allie's hiding off the side here. So
I just got back from the river, so I don't really.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'm on. All right, here you go. I didn't shower or anything, but hi, guys.
Welcome, everybody.
Even have
This
a
is
white
Allie.
claw. It's not whiskey.
Your background is more beautiful than fake backgrounds. That's really
we've been really fortunate. Amos, he's running away from the smoke, but typically this time of year we've got a little bit of smoke in the air. But we've been blessed and having clear weather and great skies. And so yeah, Amos, if you want to head on over a little bit farther west, I'm always looking for an excuse to fish. So or east, sorry.
Yeah. So anything?
Where are you guys located?
Coming up?
So we're in Missoula.
Do we have anything else coming up this fall?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not far away.
Most of driving.
What do we have coming up this fall? Anything?
No, not really. We
I think we're digging ourselves out of a lot of flip-flops right now.
Yeah, that and
I saw you guys with the flip-flops.
Yeah, and unfortunately we had a couple of really large purchase orders from Orvis with our dog collars and leashes, and we've already shipped out 3 of 4 POs, and then all of a sudden
Friday.
Yeah, Friday I got an email for an additional PO that is twice the size of the first one. So we're like, oh shit, and we don't want to say no to it, but it's big for us, and hopefully we can kind of turn the order around. And then on top of that too, we also got a purchase order from Huckberry for our flasks. So they're going to be carrying our flasks
nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, how could we not talk about the flask? That actually leads me to my question I always like to ask. What is your favorite item you make? You mentioned the belts got you into this. So,
yeah.
But is that your staple, but is that your favorite, or do you have a favorite item you make, or two items?
I would say either the flask, because each piece is, there are many different options for stitching and leather and monogramming. And that's a really personal piece that's going out that somebody's gonna be carrying. And hopefully you kind of think about like the memories that are going to be made. Like the flask is hopefully be a part of their celebratory kind of
absolutely
item. So I like the vibes that are attached to that. So I would say the flasks.
My friend introduced me to the glories of a flask at the movie theater. I did change my life, dude. he
Albert likes to celebrate.
The Whiskey Leatherworks flask. I'm like, God, that is so inspiring.
Yes, and aptly named.
That's when I got one.
Aptly named. It's got the Whiskey Leatherworks sleeve, and we've got whiskey in the flask, and it's a really nice, like in my case, I've got the copper flask. So yeah, it's a really awesome piece. I agree. Very
nice.
Cool.
Thank
very
you.
Cool.
Thank you.
So do you what other leather makers or Instagram accounts really inspire you as far as it could be either just inspiration in general or craftsmanship?
So there's a guy up in Whitefish, just north of here, Claridge Leather. He is a phenomenal guy and so helpful and just a great dude. His work is top notch. He doesn't do it full time. It's kind of a hobby for himself, but it's a lot of stuff. He's like little small techniques on like tote bags. He's really super helpful. His name is Tanner. And if you're not following him, check his page out. It's Claridge Leather. He's a great guy and very helpful. So I would say I always feel inspired when I watch, take a look at his Instagram page. But other than that, I try to stay away from other leather makers' pages just so I'm not, tempted to kind of follow what someone else is doing. I like to try to just stay focused on, keep my blinders on and stay focused on what I'm doing and try to make it as unique as possible and make it to where it lasts. And it's rugged and it's beautiful and it gets better with time. So
yeah, I've had one time another maker told me that, and that makes a lot of sense. I like that answer. I don't know, Albert or Lucas, any questions?
Kind of leading off of what you just said with keeping your blinders on and keeping it unique. Want to ask you about the collaboration you did with Dave. Talk to us about how that came to be, and because it is a rough out leather rather than I guess it's just the flip side of what a leather piece is. So wanted you to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so we're in conversations with Dave and just trying to, we really respect his style and he's totally dialed in. So if there was somebody we were going to work with, that was definitely Dave had caught our eye a long time ago and started chatting with him and wanted to develop something that was unique to the denim community. And then that's when Dave gave us the idea. Is like, hey, you guys thought about doing something in rough out. And we did a couple of belts and then a few wallets, and yeah, it's been a really fun collaboration. And it's always really nice to see the pictures that Dave comes out with. And he's a super creative guy, and he's been wonderful to collaborate with. So thanks, Dave.
Can I jump in here for a second? So I'm on the back, and I'm not going to talk a lot. I'm probably going to sneak away, but I just wanted to say one thing on your point, Lucas. I'm on the back side of the company, so I'm always checking the analytics, and that's kind of like what I do, And even today, I was checking the analytics, and the page that's getting the most landed, most hits, most like direct landing is Dave's page, the Rough Out Rugged Workwear. I've really been blown away by how the international community has, in a way, Dave kind of brought us to the world. Like, we're in Montana and we had some tendrils going out, but once that collaboration happened, all of a sudden it was Sweden and Denmark and Japan and China, and it was all rugged workwear and these beautiful people in that community. So from the sales side, the business side, it's blown my mind. So Dave, thank you for that.
I got to say, you guys are awesome to work with on that. And Lucas, thanks for bringing that up. I wasn't even going to touch on that. I don't know. But I have truly enjoyed working with you guys. And I'm not going to take the credit for the design work. I literally just turned it over to Danny and said, have you thought about rough out? Because I have other rough out pieces. And what I like about that leather is it collects patina so quickly. Like literally anything you're doing, it just collects it. Like, I mean, more so than probably any other leather is why I like it. In so many different ways too. And Danny creatively just, what kind of this do you like? What kind of that do you like? And he really did. I can't take credit for any design. Danny was just basically the creative design behind all of that. I just kind of gave him a few initial ideas. So Danny, that was really awesome. And you guys, I would say likewise, you guys have been awesome to work with. And you know, my favorite thing about that, it's obviously helping you guys with business, but also seeing like just people wearing those and they're aging and they post pictures of it. I mean, it's so cool. I love that. For no other reason, just seeing that stuff out there aging is really how I get a kick out of that. So thanks guys for partnering with me on that. And thanks Lucas for asking that question.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I know when that first came out, you did the patina contest for it was 6 months, right?
Yes, it was. It was from March to September. Yep.
Yeah, and I actually had my wallet sitting right here. So this is
wow.
Yes.
Here, I
that
worked
thing
for
started white. That thing was like natural rough out white.
Beautiful, shiny.
Natural, kind of pull it out here.
Look at the indigo. Okay, I just got to say too, I got to drop a line here. Lucas, for folks that don't know Lucas has worked in leather, denim, the boot industry. This guy, when we go to hangs, I could talk to this guy literally 24 straight hours. He knows his stuff. He's so fun to talk to. And there's a reason there's that much indigo on his wallet, because he is a true denim head, right? He puts me to, and I feel like I'm a denim head. He puts me to shame. He's like a true denim head.
Yeah. Denim everything. Every day I'm wearing something, at least something indigo dyed by some aspect. So wallet like this, always going to be indigo dyed. You know, I'm working on the rough out belt right now. Got it on right now. So that's all. Can't wait to see how that patina's over the next couple years.
Love it.
Yeah, my rough out belt is in quarantine in New York City. I just keep forgetting. It's like hanging in my closet for 6 months. I have one last question, Allie, before you take off. How did the whole visit of Tim Sorensen happen? Because I was just like, suddenly Tim's like, I'm going away.
Tim's on here.
He's in your feed. I'm like, what the fuck?
Tim's on here. Perfect.
Get TL Sorensen. TL, do you want to talk about that first?
How did that happen?
We're mouthing off.
Wait, we gotta unmute him. Unmute Tim.
That was
Hold on.
so
Let me
awesome.
look.
It was the best. It was a
Can you guys hear me? Can I unmute myself?
Yes, you got it. Right, buddy. Go to work, brother.
No.
My background is actually the picture from Danny's deck. So Alien Danny's deck. So it's right there behind him.
Wow.
Tim, do you want to
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those, you know, we've gotten to be friends through Instagram and the brand and the awesome stuff they do. And, you know, it was sort of, it was the lull in the pandemic, and we were planning on taking a trip out to the East Coast, and it was like, well, that's not going to happen. We're like, well, we'll go camping. And so we'll head west, and they happened to make an offer. Well, if you're heading out this way, stop by. And so next thing you know, we're going to throw up a tent in their backyard, but the weather was terrible. We actually got a hotel. So, but it was a fabulous trip out there. So great to get to the shop. What was it? 16 hours or something? I don't remember. It was a haul across, but you know, it was a great time to be out to, you know, stop and camp and that kind of stuff, and just to travel by car. You know,
it was funny to watch, because it was like, Tim, you're like, I'm going away. And then the next day you're in Montana with them. I'm like, oh, that's so funny. I was really jealous because I want to go to Montana so bad.
I do too. Man, Albert,
it's beautiful.
Albert, we should go to
our
Montana.
next hang,
Albert, our next hang, Montana.
Oh yeah, I think that's really happening.
Montana hangs.
Ryan is warning us though that the mosquitoes are monstrously big. Is that true?
And depends on where you are, I guess. But they're
Well,
slow.
mosquitoes,
They're
they
really,
can't
really
be bigger
slow.
than they're here. They can't be bigger than here. Are they bigger than here? Danny would know.
The ones in Georgia are tiny and they hurt and they're fast. The ones here are just big and slow and
Oh
easy
boy,
to
that scares me. Helicopter mosquitoes. Okay, all right. Well, I'll still go out there. I don't care how big those mosquitoes are.
I would go, Dave. I'm up for it.
We got to do
Yeah,
this.
heck yeah. The house will be open. The funny thing was, and it's kind of a joke now with Tim and Mara and Danny and I, is we got super overzealous and excited knowing someone was going to drive to Montana to meet us. And I said, we can't have them. We have to have them stay here in our home and let's rip out a bathroom and we need to renovate it and make it really beautiful. We have 3 weeks time. And like all these words started coming in and then Tim and Mara came and I was like, we don't have a bathroom done yet. So the bathroom is still almost done, like really close.
so close.
And when Tim comes, the funny thing is we're going to take a photo when it's done and let him hang it on his wall. It's have a little sign that says bathroom on it.
Yeah, the joke is I have real estate in Montana now.
I'm gonna let you guys talk. But you guys take care.
All right,
Allie,
cool.
thanks for everything.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
All right, let's open it up. Well, I guess anybody can ask questions now. We've still got maybe 5-10 minutes before they start to transition, probably. So, any other questions?
Yeah. So if you guys got questions, go ahead and type them in chat. We can relay them there.
All right.
Did someone just say they're going to have a question?
No, we were seeing if anybody typed any, but right now,
checking to see if anyone typed.
At least I don't think. I got to scroll up. Went through a lot of comments.
How long did it take your beard to get to that length? Lucas, that's a question from Mike, from Big Dude.
I've had the beard for, almost 5.5 years now. But I've trimmed it multiple times. This is probably about 3.5-4 years of growth in total without trimmings. So, and it's pretty much, it's down to my belt buckle almost at this point.
Do you gotta your hair? They say split ends, your hair, you need to cut the split ends off so it grows better. Do you got to do that with your beard?
Yeah. So that's what
That is truly awesome. I thought I just had a long beard. It was like maybe 3 or 4 inches long. It's crazy. Every time I see Lucas, I'm like, dude, and it hangs. We'll be out in public and sometimes I'll think people are watching me and I'm like, no, they're looking at Lucas's epic beard.
Yeah. I love Dave, when you met Lucas the first time, you were telling me about your first hang. He's like, then I met Lucas, Albert, he's got this big beard.
He does. Well, even when I met, that story you told was awesome. Lucas, great way to reminisce. We actually met at that boot show. And yes, that is how I actually knew. I actually asked him, I was like, wait, are you Mr. Super Cooper on Instagram? It's because his beard. That's why.
Not too many people have big beards down here in the South. At least as big
For
as
Dan, what's your favorite whiskey, Dan, is a question.
Good question. Yeah, that's a really good one. So there's a distillery in, I think it's Colorado Springs, it's Distillery 291. They have one of the smoothest bourbons that I've had in a really long time. If you haven't had it, check it out. I think you can actually order it online, but those guys pop out. Wait, hold on.
Did you say Distillery 191?
No, 291.
291.
Yeah. Look at all the awards that it's won.
Wow.
They're in Colorado Springs.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah, it's a small batch. I don't know if it's single barrel, but it's finished with aspen wood staves. But yeah, if you can find it somewhere or order it online, that's one of my favorites right now. So they make a really good product.
Nice.
Amos, there was a just somebody ogling and losing their mind over the beauty of your orchard coat, which I'm looking for now. But you have a fan. Hopefully, you'll
not get me started on the orchard shirt and the orchard coat. Oh yeah.
Wait, someone was asking if I sell them a flask, does it come filled? That's a good idea.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know if I can do that legally or, but I like that idea.
Orchard coat is beautiful, beautiful coat, beautiful.
Yes. Hey, Amos, are you still there? Where did you get the inspiration for the orchard coat? Did you find like a vintage piece with that? Or
really good.
Is Amos still on? He may have dropped.
Did we lose him? Maybe muted? So good.
I think we lost him.
He comes in.
It looks like he popped back, but
there
I think he's muted.
Yeah, he's muted. Amos, can you hear us? He might be busy. He was driving, so I don't want to be too dangerous with that.
Hey, sorry, can you guys hear me? I'm trying to make it to Salt Lake tonight to see a friend, so I apologize for.
Oh, you're good. We were just wondering.
You owe us nothing at this point. Have a safe drive and do not look at your phone while you're driving.
Yeah. If you want to answer, we were just going to ask how you got the inspiration for the orchard coat and shirt. But if you're busy, that's cool too. No worries, brother. Let's see. All right. There was another. Well, I'm scrolling up here. Sorry.
Dan, quick question while Dave's looking for that other question. Have you tried Bighorn whiskey from Montana?
Bighorn, yeah, I have. They make a really good product. Trying to think of some of my favorite Montana distilleries or the Montana Whiskey Company. Those guys just started up. They are doing like blends right now. They, since they're just starting up, they're letting some of their whiskey starting to age. Yeah, Bighorn's one of the good ones. Willie's Distilling is really good.
Yep.
And then Montgomery Distilling here in Missoula makes a really good product.
The only time I was able to have Bighorn was back in Colorado. Someone brought a bottle from Montana, and we all shared it together. And I haven't been able to find it anywhere outside of Montana since. And
yeah, they do like a honey infused moonshine, which is it's just an unaged kind of a straight whiskey. That's a really good product too. Yeah. So.
Yes,
we just got a thing from Ben that said 216 tickets have been sold for the rugged raffle. So that's awesome.
Oh my goodness, that is fantastic.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, remember y'all, there is a raffle going on. It's in Ben's bio or profile link, I guess. Go check that out, buy a raffle ticket or two.
So Lucas, what part of Atlanta are you in?
I'm down in Grant Park.
Oh yeah, I had a home. Allie and I lived in Candler Park.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, but before I met Allie, I had a house on Custer Avenue, just in Ormwood Park, just south of you. So I know the area well. So
there you go. Tim just brought out a bottle of the Bighorn. I saw that pop up there.
Yeah, he's just
there you go.
It's funny because I'll talk to I sometimes forget Danny's from Atlanta, and I'll talk to him we named the wallets in the collaboration after mountains here.
Oh yeah,
and
that was fun.
I'll forget I'll be looking on the map and what do I want to name this wallet after, what mountain? And I'll tell Danny, he's like, oh yeah, I know that one, I climbed it. I was like, oh, I forgot. He knows this area better than me sometimes.
Yeah, that's been fun. All of our stuff, I try to name it after rivers in Montana. But yeah, it's kind of fun to kind of give a tip of the cap back to my home. So
yeah, it is great. It's fun. It is really great.
That is cool. Oh, he's got the raffle in the thing now.
Oh yeah.
Where is the raffle, Dave?
It's in they just put in the chat.
Oh, okay.
So
the link in the chat. Yeah.
I did not get one yet.
No, yeah.
Dave, you did a really good job organizing. Thank you. You really actually did all the legwork to bring people together for this.
Well, thanks, guys. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, I know all three of these makers, so it's really, really awesome to have them on and just hear their stories. I love their products, so it was good to get the background.
Are there some Dave collabs coming up that we don't know about?
You know what? I feel like I would love to. I'm always teeter-tottering on I want to do collabs, but I don't have time to do collabs. You know what I mean? So like I've been kind of kicking around the idea, but it's hard. I've got 3 kids for the folks that don't know. I've got a 14-year-old. He's actually going to be 15 in a couple months. He's going to be driving. So it's going to be very stressful. And then I've got that and a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old. So it's just collaborations are awesome. Cause like I said, I like to work with small companies and then see the stuff like kind of age and beautifully, but then it's just a lot of time too, to get them off the ground. So I don't know, probably not anytime soon, unfortunately, just because I'm busy.
Oh man, look at beautiful Montana.
I know.
You gotta come, Albert.
I really got to come. We all got to just say some serious prayers that the West just gets some rain and those fires go out. Because I'm seeing my friends with these orange backgrounds. It's like looking at sci-fi movies. It's beyond comprehension.
It's like that Blade Runner movie. Like it's orange,
what was that one with Schwarzenegger? I can't remember what that was called. It was like
the moon
totally
one.
that was the landscape, and I see it. And
Total
it's just
Recall?
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, Total Recall.
Yeah, Total Recall. Exactly. That's exactly it.
It is
that
crazy,
orange
man.
sky thing.
Hope those fires go
Not
down.
good.
All right, Ben, are you there? Ben might be on break still.
He's still muted, but he is in there.
Guys, yeah, I know I'm still here. I've just enjoyed listening for the last hour. Dave, thank you very much for pulling this together for us. Excellent job, and thank you very much to all the guys that you got involved. Dan, Albert, obviously. Lucas, Amos. I haven't missed anybody out, have I? No, I haven't.
I don't think so. We had Mark Albert, but like I said, he had a slight medical thing come up, so he had to miss. So we're maybe done a little early, but I think we're pretty close to time. But we'll love that one too, but understandably.
No, that's absolutely brilliant. It's we've got Mike here as well, who's going to be following on at it's my 1 a.m. So what time does that make it for you?
Damn, you're doing all 24 hours, Ben?
Crazy.
That's a lot.
Well, this is the thing. We thought we'd worked it out so that one host could make the other host a co-host, and it had just sort of bounced through the night. And it turns out that that's not working. So I've pretty much got to.
As long as it's 24 hours, dude, you're going to be up 24 hours. There's no way around that math.
Yeah, you're a trooper. Guess it'll finish at midday tomorrow, and then at midday tomorrow, I am at 5-year-old's birthday party.
Oh wow!
Oh, goodness gracious!
You get at least to get a power nap before. I tell you, you're probably if it was me and I was the full 24 hours. Every hour I'd be like, okay, do I want to drink beer this hour or coffee this hour?
I'm both.
Exactly.
I need one to keep me talking and one to keep me awake.
Right.
But that's fine. Thanks everybody. We've got to give a shout out to Swedes because they have still got. I mean,
those guys.
Well, they've been here. So.
Now they're relaxing, man. They were like partying.
Yeah, they look like they were having some fun there for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
Dancing around and stuff.
Look like they slowed down a little. Now they're chilling a little bit.
They'll just pop up again at 4 in the morning.